Alright, in this video, I'm going to show you how a simple Google Sheets or Excel template can help take your paycheck that looks like this and convert it to look like this. And it's all based on the principle of prioritize and execute. So prioritizing and executing is all about working on the most important thing or working on the highest impact thing at any given time. The struggle that we all face in the workplace is that we are constantly being thrown new tasks to do, which rearrange our priorities. And so it's very easy for us to get, or at least I found for myself, it's very easy to get locked in on something that isn't a high priority. And then the day will slip away, and then you'll have an entire day where you don't feel like you did anything very, very productive. And so this template solves that problem by enabling you to always work on the most important thing at any given time, which dramatically increases your value, and that will be what gets you those raises and promotions. So let's go ahead, let's jump into the screen and I'll show you how to set it up yourself. Okay, so here we have just a very basic Excel sheet. Again, Google Sheets works pretty much the same. All you're gonna do is over here in column A, we're gonna go ahead and put task, and then in B, we're gonna put priority. And you can just, customize this, make this look as, whatever you want this to look like. I'm just gonna throw these not like that. That's a little too ugly. And I have task and priority. And then over here, I think in column E, we're gonna just put Monday. And then we're gonna drag these over until we have Friday. Yeah, we don't need the weekends unless you work weekends. I'm just gonna copy this formatting right here. And we can just go ahead and expand those out. And so basically the way that this works is you're gonna have your task put over here. You're gonna have the priority list, and then you're also gonna have your daily tasks set up right here. So first things first, let's go ahead, let's insert a table so that this is something that, or actually, we don't even need to do a table. Let's just do a filter. And so what's gonna happen is we'll put our tasks here. And so let's say I have report 1, meeting 1, call 1, email 1, and email 2. And then we'll just quickly throw a priority in here where, okay, this report 1, this is high value. A lot of people are depending on this. So we're going to give this a 1. This meeting is pretty low value and I don't really have any control over the timing of it. So I'm going to give it a 3. This call, this is also pretty important, but not as important as report 1. So I'm going to give it like a 1.5. This email 1, that's going to be a 2, and the second one is going to be like a 2.5. That's like the value of it. And then all you need to do is you just need to come here and you just need to quickly sort, and it'll sort. It'll always have the most important, the highest priority up here. And so what you would do is you would only be working on this until you get it done. And then once it's done, then you can mark it as done, with a highlight or, however you want to do it. And then you work on the next thing. Now, obviously, that's incredibly simple. The power of this is when you are being thrown stuff on a like on an hourly basis, right? It's like you're working on this. Okay, cool. You got this call out of the way. Awesome. You're working on email 1, but then all of a sudden your boss calls and you're like, hey, I need a second report. Right, I need a second report, and I need a new email sent on a different topic. And both of these are more important than email 1, email 2, and meeting 1. So for this, you can put like a 1.6 and then like a 1.7. Quickly sort it, and then boom, you can just, okay, I need to work on report 2 until it's done, and then this email 3 until it's done, and then I can move on to these ones. And you kind of just keep this flow going throughout the entire day. And this enables you to always be working on the most important task. And it really takes next to no time. And it really helps like understanding the priority of the task. And even if you need to ask your boss, like, hey, how high is this important? Is this not important? Help them, give you ranks on it if you're a little bit unsure. But this is something that I use and it's incredibly powerful. Now, obviously, if you have repeat tasks, you don't want to be filling out your daily's work, repeat every single day. So what you would do is you would build this out. Like, let's say you have a specific, let's say you have this meeting on Monday. You also have a one-on-one on Monday with boss. Let's say Tuesday, report 1 and report 2 are due. and then meeting 2, and then so forth, right? Log updated for whatever, and then errors caught or error report. I don't know, whatever it is, right? Everyone's week is different. And so what you would do is you would, let's say you come in on Monday, this would be empty, right? And so you would come over here, you would add these, you just copy those, fill this in, and then you'd fill out any other individual tasks you need, right? Oh, I got called, I need report, whatever created. I have email 1, email 2, and meeting 1, or however it works out. And then you just assign these, right? Like, okay, meeting 1, okay, I don't really have any control over that, so I'm going to make that a 4. One-on-one with boss, I also don't have a whole lot of work on that. However, that does, part of this is actually prep, so we can do one-on-one prep. And so maybe that's actually pretty important. You want that done before you actually have your one-on-one with your boss. So that can be like a 3. And if that's pretty consistent, right, that should actually go over here. That can be added to what you just want to do every single Monday. Report 2, this one is actually pretty important. It has a lot of value. And then email 1, not too important. Email 2, not too important. And then meeting 1 is also not very important. And so then you can just sort, and then report 2 is the most important thing you should be working on right now, and then you should get these done, and then work on your prep, and then so forth. And then you can also, as the day goes on, you can also assign these different numbers and reprioritize. But again, this enables you to make sure you're always working on the most important task. And so what you can do, and so this is just the very basic structure of how this works. Again, this is incredibly simple, but incredibly powerful. I've been using this for years, and I still have not been able to find an application or to-do list or Microsoft Planner. None of that works as well as this. Now, I do a couple of other things to make this a little bit more viable. One of the thing is I will have a to-do list. Right, so these are just as your day goes on, there are tasks that you have been assigned or that you have tasked yourself to do, but you have, but it's not like it's an immediate thing that needs to get done. And so you just add it to a long to-do list. And then what you would do is after you've worked through all of these and you don't have any other tasks, then you add stuff from your to-do list over here, and then you work this down. So I would do to-do list, you can add a priority to it. And then you can also add a due date if you wanted that. So we'll do those, highlight this, insert table. My table has headers. And if you want to change the design, you can always come in here and change this up, whatever you're comfortable with. And so here, what would happen is on, let's say, report 1 updated for X reason, right? Someone told you this is a report that you're responsible for, and it could be updated to make it a little bit better. And so you're going to add that here. Again, it's not an urgent priority for you to update, but it's here. And you can give this a priority if you want, or put a due date right here if you want as well. And then you can just build this out as time goes on. And then let's say throughout this day, you finish all this, there's still some time left in your day. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to throw it over here. Or here, let's paste his values so we don't copy into the formatting. I'm going to throw it over here, and then, we can give this, the priority. This is going to be a 4.1 or, whatever it is, and this is the next thing I work on. And then once that's removed, then you can go ahead and remove it from this list, and then you're all good. If you don't want to be looking at this all day long, if you want to keep like a really nice clean sheet, you can come over here, go to data, go to these little dots right over here, and then group it. And then you can hide it, and then only expand it when you want to see it. And yeah, that's helpful. Another thing that I like to do as well is I'll add another table. I'll add it as task, and then date completed. And so what I'll do, in there. Again, we'll make this a table with headers. And so what I'll do is at the end of the day, with all the tasks that I've completed, I will go ahead and I will copy them, paste as values or paste as special right here, and I'll put the date complete. So let's just say it's 5:30, and I'll put the date complete right here, and then I'll also turn this into a column that I can hide because I don't want to be looking at this all the time. And then so I'll build this out over time, just so if I ever need to go back, like, hey, when was the last time I ran that report, or when was the last time I, did that task? I have found that to be helpful. Again, not critical to your productivity, but I have found it to be helpful. And so you can just collapse that. And yep, that is the basics of how this template is set up. You can rename it if you want. And yeah, it's just incredibly powerful and always allows you to focus on that which is most important. Now, I think this naturally brings up the conversation of what should you be prioritizing? What should your strategy, what should your method be for prioritizing? And what I have found is that you want to be prioritizing work based on the value it provides others. It makes no sense for you to spend a ton of time on something, on building a report that no one else uses, no one else gains value from. But it makes a ton of sense for you to spend time on building or working on something that has the most value, that affects the most people, and has the highest impact on people and on the company that you're working for. So you really want to use value as the metric for how you should be prioritizing. Is email one or report one? Which of those has the most value, has the most impact to other people? And that's how you want to be prioritizing. Another thing that I want to bring up that I have found to be incredibly powerful in using this very, very simple template is the making sure that you're focusing on one task at a time without distraction, and then taking breaks for those distractions, right? Commonly known as the Pomodoro method. So what I have done in the past is I'll hyper focus on the task that I have not completed yet. I'll do, if it's a large task, then I'll do like 45 minutes of uninterrupted time. And then I'll take a couple of minutes after that, 10, 15, to engage in those distractions, go to my Outlook, go to my email, and see if I've gotten any new tasks, add it to the log, reshuffle the log, and then work on the highest priority. So kind of isolating some time to only focus on the task will allow you to get the task done faster and allow you to get through that list a lot faster than if you were constantly in Outlook and moving stuff over. I understand some businesses, some roles can't really function that way. You do need to have direct contact with everyone 24/7 without any breaks. I get it. But if you are in a workplace where you do not really have to be on call every second of every hour that you're working, then try and expand that and get it to where, you have 15 minutes or 30 minutes of uninterrupted time where you're just focusing on a task, get it done as fast as possible, and then indulge in those distractions and go to your Outlook, add stuff in, reshuffle, get through that list, add stuff from your to-do list over there, and you will have a very strong productivity tool that will enable you to always be working on the most important task, which will again dramatically increase the value that you provide the company and lead to those raises and promotions. So thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions or comments, leave it below and I'll be happy to answer them.